Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the Quiet Room. This is Clauthia Ray. I
Alright,
started
hey
my
everybody.
Zepbound journey
So,
at
it's been
225 and
2
now I'm
weeks
at
since I thought I
184.
broke my toe.
My family and I have officially let all the things go.
Cleared out our
So this
storage.
is
So much
us
has happened.
clearing out
I
our
tried
last
to graduate
storage
programs.
over the
There's just so
last few
much ready
years and
going on in my
fully
life.
embracing our
And
new
I'm finally
life
ready to
that we've
reveal
been
something
working
that I
on for
had
the
never been
last
to
3
reveal yet
years.
about
Stay
us and how we're
tuned.
saving money and how we're able to
So
do
guys, I
the
always like
$19
to
an
welcome
hour
you in as I take
income
my
from my
moment, take
85
my
hustle.
time,
So we
wash
live
my
in an
face,
RV
clear my
now.
skin,
So
clear my mind. I'm not really big on a lot of things. I struggle with keeping a face routine, but I've been trying to be consistent. I have had laser surgery before. I went to Milan and I stopped going, but it still keeps coming back like right around my chin. So I always use the this razor, the straight razor, to shave it off still, just because I don't like the little fuzz that comes in. I know you're supposed to keep going to Milan, but I kept going, but it always kept coming back. I think I went for like a year, but it still keeps coming back. Tell me if you guys have had that story or what's going on with you and your facial hair or lack of. So this is the week of my Mounjaro 5 milligram shot. I just picked up my second dose, which insurance has changed, so there's a lot of updates to keep there. I can't wait to share you guys with that. I will do my footage of my body shots this week. And I just had so much going on this last few weeks that it's kind of crazy. Thought I broke my toe. Started 2 grad school programs at 2 different programs. I was going to Florida Institute of Technology and the Chicago School of Psychology for the BCBA program. I'll tell you why a little bit later in the video, but just had a whole lot going on between that and moving, trying to get my daughter settled and ready for school. We just have had so much going on, so it always feels good just to take a moment here, wash my face, cleanse my skin, body shots. So again, 5 milligrams. I've been hovering around 184, 185 this week. I did get down to 182 a week or two ago. But like I said, the amount of things I've had going on these last 3 weeks, I'm okay with staying at 184, 185 because my diet has not been consistent. I can't overeat, but I'm not over focused on the things that I've needed to focus on, like hydration. I haven't had oatmeal in like 3 weeks. So some of those things I was doing consistently, I have not been doing. So I'm not mad at the 184, 185. It's just where I am. You guys know I hold my shot for about 10 seconds, over communicating, over making sure that it's there. So do that. And then I'll take my body shots. These are, I don't remember if these are the tights that I originally weighed in with or if these are the size smalls. From the look of them, they look pretty tight or fitting. I think these are the size smalls. But I do need to get back to taking it in my original outfit so we can see the difference and how much I've grown or how much I've shrunk rather, so we can tell the difference. Most of the bras are the same because I haven't changed bras or anything like that. Again, you can clearly see the waist starting to be defined there. We were also doing really good at my job, working out. Again, when I thought I broke my toe, for me, that kind of stopped. And unfortunately, I feel like everybody else, we all kind of just fell off. So next week, it's 3 weeks since I thought I broke my toe. So I'm going to get back on the game plan. I did not actually break my toe, but the computer, I dropped a computer. I dropped my bag and the computer flipped over on the corner side and fell on my toe. So it hurt pretty bad for a while, but it was not broke, thankfully. So I've been chilling for a while. So this is my 7th week on 5 milligrams of Mounjaro. So thank you guys for hanging out, watching my side shots here, my front shots, the belly shots. Oh, so you definitely know that means me and my daughter haven't gone to the gym, or my husband either, in these 2 or 3 weeks. So next week we are trying to get back started. We have a month before school starts, so I really want to make sure we get it in. So
Yeah, so here's the one we really want. And basically, guys, my whole adult life, I've worked hard and haven't had much to show for it. Trying to kind of in that rat race, we made over $12,000 a month, but still, if anything happened, if the fridge went out or needed new tires, we were kind of struggling. So this one is a 2 bedroom. So my daughter would have her own space still, and nice living room size, table. This one's like 129 and then like 800 a month. And I get to travel with it, and it's so weird because I would have never thought that was honest. Like, we just moved, but we are in the RV, so we moved and everything of mine stayed the same. It's nice. I literally get to take my home with me. So, and this is kind of, spacious for us. So that's the first bedroom, and then here's the master bedroom. So this is the one we really, 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 really want. It fits our lifestyle very well.
Yeah, so like I said, as I'm putting on my toner here, it's just that we're just trying to clean up our life. No one has you don't come with a blueprint yourself, right, on life. You're just doing the best you can in life, and don't regret any of my choices or the things I've done. I just want to do something different with this last 30 plus years of my life. My first 30 years of adulting, it was lived trying to do things the right way. This 30 years is just 30 years plus is just me doing things that I want and putting things that I want in the spaces that I want in my life, and prioritizing us and our family rather than things. Because I've had a lot of things for a long time. This is showing my husband and son trying to get this I was about to say 2,000 pound, but I think it's like 600 pound bike up the stairs. Because that had to go since we cleared out the storage.
Quiet room. Today I'm going to be reporting. This isn't the perfect season. If that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. So the last few weeks have been very busy, and I have failed some tests and passed some tests, but I'm going to share with you all of the things I've done in these last few weeks to talk about how I'm actually changing or evolving. So first thing I want to do is, I thought I broke my toe. So I have a big bag, like a beach bag, and my computer was in there, because I have a computer for my school and then a computer for my BCBA field work, because we can't use our own computer. And I put my bag down, and the computer flipped out and hit my toe. My toe right next to my pinky toe. So I thought it was broke because it hurt really bad. So the next day I got up, I wore Crocs to work, which we're not allowed to because it's a clinical setting. So then I had to go to the emergency room or to urgent care, and it turns out it was not broke, but it still really hurt. So I think that was June 28th, somewhere in there, so a while ago. When that happened, that weekend we were actually moving. So great weekend to break your toe. So we were moving because, full story, so now I'm ready to share with you guys. I'm going to do a little bit more, but my husband and I live in an RV full time with my daughter. We used to live with my daughter and my son, but my older son is gone now, so it's just me and my daughter. But we have been holding on to a storage for about 3 years, and we knew we wanted to move. My daughter wanted to go to a school, and I was like, wait, why am I acting like I am pigeonholed and that I can only go to a school that's in the district we're in? That is the whole purpose of being in an RV, so that life is smaller. So we decided to move to a location to go to the school that she wanted to go to. So we're excited about that. But I did all that, and the week I thought I broke my toe, we cleared out the storage. I do have some footage of that, guys. I don't know what to say about clearing out the storage, or how people, all different things. So I'll give you a little bit of backstory. My mother passed away in 2022. My mother is the most OCD, immaculate, beautiful, drop dead, gorgeous woman I've ever met in my life. I used to always joke that her house looked like Target, and if anyone knew her or spent time with her, it did. Everything was labeled and organized as if she were the store herself. My mother rebuilt her home. She knocked out walls, put in cabinets, put in flooring. There was nothing that my mother could not do creative wise that she put her mind to, and her house looked like that. When I was a kid growing up, I remember I did not have to clean up as much as some people, but I didn't have to clean up because I just could never meet her standard. So I just didn't have to clean up. I didn't start learning to clean up, y'all, seriously, until I was grown, moved in with people, and of course I knew how. Like, don't get me wrong, you grow up with someone who's OCD, you're going to know how, but it wasn't a requirement for me. So the how that I'm talking about is the what it feels like to get up every day and wash the dishes, clean the shower. I didn't have that routine, if you will, because it was never forced upon me. So of course I knew how. You better know how to do it well, but it wasn't forced upon me. So I didn't learn how to clean routinely or follow a schedule until I was grown. I'll sidetrack just a little bit and then get us right back on track. So when I was 18, I went to college in California, went to college, and I felt like I was lacking discipline. This is one of those things about discipline. So I dropped out and I joined the Navy. And during that furlough waiting to join the Navy is when I met my husband. But the reason I joined the Navy was because I wanted the discipline, because I didn't have it in myself or in my life. I wanted someone to make me make my bed, all those things I thought it was missing. So I say all that to say, when my mother passed away in 2022, her house had 20, 30 years of stuff in it, meticulously organized. She lived in one state, I lived in another state. So when I went to clean her house, and before she passed away, she came to live with me for about 8 months, late stages of dementia. And when I went to clean her house, I think I took off like a week from work. I ended up being off work like 2 or 3 weeks, and then realized I needed to come back in the summer because I was a teacher, because there's just no way that I could do it. And so I went through that emotional hang up of what was childhood memories, what was not, what could I let go, what did I need. And I will say, my mother didn't get this home until I was 20. So this wasn't my childhood home that I grew up in. It was older, if that makes sense. But there was still a lot of love and a lot of memories in this home. And getting rid of that home and letting go of this stuff, I want to say that it was probably, no exaggeration, up to $2 million worth of things in my home, in my mother's home. And I put stuff on Facebook, I put stuff on Craigslist, even I put stuff on eBay, and I just couldn't sell stuff fast enough in that 2-3 weeks. I ended up giving away a whole lot to Goodwill, which made me feel really happy because they were so excited. Because my mother wasn't, she was pretty chic, and we don't do name brand. I've never been a name brand girl, but my mother also could sew. So her outfits were all tailor made. Now, we did shop at department stores, Macy's, Dillard's, but we weren't name brand focused and boutiques. We were quality and feel focused. So my mother's home was a lot. And my husband talks about now, as we were cleaning out our storage, that there's a lot of things we didn't do right, because you could have just passed some of this stuff down like as family heirlooms, but I did not have the capacity or the space to house my mother's 70 years of life and my life and my 6 children. So I said all that to say that most days were just spent, I won't say crying, but crying from being overwhelmed with what, where, and how. Nobody prepares for their mother. My mother was 70, so that's pretty young. It's not like we thought that we would be in that moment. And we just weren't prepared. We weren't prepared mentally, emotionally, physically. And really, it was just me. My sister, who since passed away in 2025, it wasn't much help for her own health issues. So it was me, my husband, and my kids doing it. And the emotional baggage was more me than my husband and my kids. They were just there as the physical help and little memories, but for me, the emotional heaviness of it was a lot. And it took a long time to let go. And when we moved back, we ended up when we moved the stuff back, we ended up with like a U-Haul full of stuff. Not a big U-Haul, just a little hitch thing, and her car. And her car was packed full of stuff also. But again, what do you do with all this stuff, right? What do you do with all this stuff? I am a Christian, and we have a firm belief you can't take any of this stuff with you, which is true, right? I've seen people's jokes of their funeral trying to pack all this stuff in there. You can't take it with you. So that experience, I already has stopped wanting to be a consumer, because I think in my lifetime I've probably spent, if my mother spent 3 to 5 million in her lifetime, I think I've spent $1 to $2 million. And so in my lifetime, I realized there was a point when I realized I probably had spent over, and this was in my 30s, so I was still younger, $300,000+ at Target, because I love Target. I'm never going to get that back. I'm never going to work a day and a dime to get that back. Target's not going to invest in me $300,000. That doesn't go to my kids. That doesn't go to my grandkids. It doesn't go to a lot of things. And in the African American community, I find that even when we have older homes, like my mother's home was immaculate, it was worth less than $30,000 because of the neighborhood that it was in at the time. Not when she bought it, but later on, it said it wasn't worth anything. And so when I look back over those millions of dollars spent, literally, I find it hard holding on to these things. But it doesn't mean that the emotional piece is not there. Excuse me, you know we always say with something. So the emotional piece was really, really still there, but I was in a space of letting go also. I don't know if it's that I've raised my kids and I only have my daughter left, who is a younger preteen, going to high school soon. I don't know if that's where this is, if it's a combination. I keep telling you guys all of this, my Zepbound journey, everything. If it's a combination of all of the life experiences, which is why I wrote my book also, The Cost of Light, just to share some things. But I say all that to say, when we cleared out the storage, my mind was ready. When we first put the stuff in the storage, because we moved in the RV 2023, and we were like, I didn't even want to put anything in the RV. This was fresh after my mom. My mom passed away 2022. This was 2023. I didn't even want to put anything in the storage. I wanted to get rid of it all then. And my husband was like, no, let's put it in the storage for a year or two, because I don't want to re-buy all this stuff if you change your mind in 6 months. And I was like, okay, I agree with that. So we've paid $500-600 a month for storages for 3 years. I don't even know the math in that. I'm gonna estimate that's $7,000 a year times 3. That's $21,000. I've tried to sell some things. I think I sold the washer and dryer. I tried to sell the couches. I tried to sell the basketball courts, because knowing from my mother's stuff, your stuff isn't priceless to other people, and they're not gonna give you. They want to give you $20, and yeah, $20 adds up. But then it becomes my time. It's not worth sitting here 8 hours on a Sunday to make $100. It never adds up. And so clearing out the storage, I was ready, but it was extremely heavy, all of the things I was letting go. And so you have to ask yourself, am I letting go of the things or the people or the memories? And you have to conclude that you have the memories and you have the people for as long as you do, right? We don't have a lifetime, or our lifetime is not numbered, right? My lifetime could be 13 years, 20 years, 80 years. We don't know. So clearing out the storage was exhausting emotionally, but I felt good afterwards. So we no longer have a storage. And we brought a $39 U-Haul of stuff here to the RV on top of the stuff that we already had. So we moved. We needed to get a U-Haul anyway, because when you live in an RV, when it travels, you have to take a lot of stuff out, the heavy stuff. So then we moved that. And so we came with the 39-foot truck, $39 truck, from U-Haul. You guys know what size that is. And it wasn't full like to the brim. And I remember in our days before, we'd had that thing jam packed out. It was just the bottom level, so it was really just a few boxes and totes and the couch. We were bringing the couch, some bikes, my son's dirt bike, just a few things. And then when we brought it here, I immediately got rid of about half of it because it was like, I guess I needed that extra day or two. And there's a scene, and my daughter and I love Gilmore Girls. We stalk it and watch it all day long. But there's a scene in there where Emily Gilmore, I think it's Martha Stewart, but she holds stuff up and says, "Do I love this? If I don't, it must go." And so I always joke about that, but I'm not a minimalist yet. That's also why I haven't shown you guys the RV, because there's still too much stuff in here for me to show you guys yet. I haven't got it to where I want it to, but I'm getting close to being a minimalist, if you will, because I literally, in my mind, I want to be at, like, we have 5 forks, 10 forks maybe. It's me, my daughter, my husband. It's 3 of us. I don't want more than 10 forks, 3 each. Wash the dishes afterwards. I want 6 plates. And I don't know if it's because I've had so much stuff. Like, I always tell people, I've had money in my life. I'm not trying to prove I have money. I spent my young adulthood trying to chase careers that could give me money for the wealth and the things, hence me going to medical school, going to be a principal, getting all these degrees. And then you do what with all of this? You do what? You do what? You do what with all of this? Your kids don't want it, and love my mother to death, but your kids don't want to spend 3 months going through your stuff when you're gone, and you don't get to decide when that is. So clearing out the storage. Then, so now I'm gonna backtrack. So that's first thing I want to talk about was that I broke my toe. This is not a perfect season. We decided to move. Not a perfect season. Clearing out the storage, not a perfect season. And then here's one of my big jump backs. So I keep saying I'm trying to learn to slow down in my decision making because I go so fast that I need to slow down. But I'm in the BCBA program. I'm going to Florida Institute of Technology. I freaking love them. Amazing. Love the program. I'm doing the grad cert, and now that's 1 year and 6 months. So like, it started May, I'll be done December 2027. So like a year and whatever that is, May of 1 year to December of the next year, a year and a half. But the Florida Chicago program, you can do it in 11 months. So I got this grand idea that I'll just switch over to the 11-month one. But I've already started collecting hours for the BCBA under the Florida one. So I don't want to lose those hours because I'm almost 500 hours in. Y'all know me. I don't play with time. So I'm almost 500 hours in since I started May 4th. So I don't want to play with that time. So I didn't want to lose it. So my bright idea me, was going to do both programs for the summer so that I could just shift over to Chicago's program, finish in 11 months, and be done. That's what I've been doing the last 2 weeks, on top of moving, on top of the broken toe, and finishing up volleyball season for my daughter. Guys, I still have a 96. Oh no, I take that back. I have a 93 in my Florida class, which is actually supposed to be the hardest class. I have a 50 in the Chicago class. The Chicago class, I don't want to badmouth anybody's program, but the program is 4 chapters a week of the Cooper ABA book. And the way the quizzes went was, it was fill in the blank vocabulary. So I have a 96, well I did before this week, it messed up at Florida, of understanding the material. And I cannot pass, like the test is literally, what word is this? What's the 3rd and 5th word here from this blank? And it's 4 chapters, and it's about 15 to 20 vocabulary words per chapter, and you're supposed to then study this or memorize this to fill in the blank. And I thought I could do it like just with my own thoughts, like I know this means increasing, or this means decreases, or this means evoke, or this means abate. No, they want the exact word. So that's not understanding, that's just memorizing. Yeah, I failed that miserably. And then Florida's test is proctored, meaning you have to do a room scan, you have to have a mirror behind you, and take the quiz and test. Chicago's is your face is proctored, so people were like, just take the answers on the wall. Y'all, that gave me nightmares, anxiety. I've never cheated in any of these degrees, not going to medical school, not my bachelor's, not my psych. I hate cheating. No offense to anyone. This is just not my thing. I hate cheating on a class. Like cheating in other ways too, but this is focused on the class. And I literally almost threw up at the thought of having to do that, because there's no way to deep dive and process 4 chapters and memorize it like this. And I already have an understanding, I just don't remember the words. So I tortured myself the last 2 weeks of that, of moving 2 grad programs at the exact same time. And my thoughts, guys, I thought, all right, it's cool because I'm covering the same content and I have a 96. It should be easy. This is what I mean, y'all. I don't know what I be doing sometimes and why I don't slow myself down. And I don't, if my husband tried to tell me what to do, that would make me not listen. I don't know if it's the Gemini. I don't know. Needless to say, I've dropped the other program. So basically I just wasted money. But I'm just going to finish Florida and just suck it up and finish Florida. I'll tell you a little bit more about what made me do this decision. I guess I'll tell you now. I got some big news. I had medical school debt on a teacher salary, now on an RBT salary. So I had student loans up to $300,000. And those loans just got wiped out to zero. So the fact that I had access to financial aid made me say that I'd rather let someone else pay for it, because the reason I didn't do Chicago was more out of pocket than fit, because my job pays a good amount of it. And so I didn't do it because my original reason for Florida was it was ranked best, but it was also the cheapest. And then when the student loans became an option, I went to the quickest, and that was stupid. I had already made that conclusion when I started in January making the research. So why I would backtrack, because an option was put in front of me, doesn't make sense. Why I had to walk through that door and make my life miserable for 2 weeks, I don't know why I do this to myself. Why I thought through it but didn't think and process and give myself patience and time, I don't know. That's one of those things that I'm still trying to work on in myself, but just being full transparent about myself. So that is over. I'm only doing Florida. Very excited about it. I did also last night, I got a 18 out of 30 on my test for Florida. That's why I told you I'm at a 93, so that brought me down to a 93. That's the first time I haven't made 28 out of 30 on the test, and I just have to suck it up, because I know I didn't study at all like I needed to, because I was too busy trying to study the other class material also. And they were 2 different units. Like, I'm barely on unit 5 in Florida. We were on unit 4 in Chicago in 2 weeks. And again, I thought I've already done this. This should be just recap, but it wasn't, because it was memorize some words while also trying to study unit 5 for Florida and try to cram 4 units into my brain for Chicago. No. So more than anything, just focused on me and why I do these things. The last thing I want to talk about, and I'm still fighting on this one, but it will affect this channel and me, is that my Zepbound prescription plan changed, or my prescription plan and my job changed. I did not change it, because you guys know I started in January, so I got insurance like April 1st, but the new year started July 1st, and I thought it would be fine, like the plan I kept would stay the same, but it didn't. It changed the prescription plan, and so because it changed the prescription plan, now my prescription went from $25 to $260, and it actually went to $416. I had to call Mounjaro to get their savings card to get it down to $260. I don't want to pay. We're back at where we were. I picked up this month, but I don't want to pay $260 a month for this medicine. I actually asked for it to be reevaluated, because I think it's really unfair to me as a client for my insurance to go from $25 to $260, or really $416. It's kind of insane. So then I'll be back at taking the compound if this is the reality. If I cannot change it, then I'll be back at taking the compound. And of course, I'll keep you guys posted. Oh, I will. This is not supposed to be a weight loss update. This is just me going through my perfect season or not perfect season. But I've stayed at 184 this whole 2 weeks in this. So again, this goes up to the emotional spills. I haven't gained anything. I guess you could say I gained 2 pounds, but I just been at 184. I also feel like I look insanely bloated. I feel looser because we're not going to the gym. I haven't been walking. I definitely haven't been eating consistently, and what I mean by eating is not doing my oatmeal in the morning, not doing those planned out meals. I've been eating more fast food, not eating more because I just can't, but just eating more fast food. So yeah, failure, 3 weeks of failure. You know, before I was doing everything right and I was stalled. This time I'm gonna say 3 weeks of pure failure on me and I'm stalled. So yeah, just a lot of things coming up. I'm gonna read through this just to make sure I got everything I want in here. Yeah, so this isn't a perfect season. It's just me showing up. I thank you guys so much for watching. I will put a little bit of footage of the moving of the RV. I'm also going to take you guys on a tour of the RV I want rather than the RV I'm in, just because, yeah, I'm not ready to share. But I do love this RV living. I guess I'll end it off on that. Why do I love this RV living? Obviously, I just shared with you a whole little bit about my life, but in the 5-bedroom, 4-bath, outside garage, backyard, front yard, dogs, all the things. The cleaning up was insane, especially with 6 kids now. I could literally deep clean this hole because it's 33 feet, so 33 feet by 10, so literally it's like 330 feet. I could literally deep clean this thing maybe in 4 hours, maybe 8 if I just wanted to do it. But if everything was the way I wanted to and we were minimalist, because my family's not on board as much as I am yet, then I probably could clean this thing in an hour or 2 at max. Deep clean, sparkling, shining. And I'm just at that point in my life where I don't want all of it. And I know you might not be here, and that is okay. That is 100% okay. It is just where I am, that I don't want a lot of stuff. I want to walk and work out. You know, I keep telling you guys, this is the first time in my adult life that I've been able to. The home doesn't just change that, but it does add time back, because I don't have 12,000 hours to get done. When I get home, I wash the dishes. Maybe it takes me 30 minutes. Cook, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And when I do laundry, now I have to go out and do laundry now. But there are RVs with it in there. But I go out and do laundry. Fold the stuff, put it back up, sort it. Again, my time is back to my time. And maybe I would have had this anyway in a home without the kids and it just being me. But I think of my mom having her big 4-bedroom house. She still got all of those things that you have to maintain and keep up with. My grandmother, right? All these houses that you've known in your community, especially in the Black community, and none of them are in our house, in our family anymore. My grandmother's home was bulldozed down. So physically not even there. My mother's house is still there. I do miss it, but I knew I wasn't going to stay. I wasn't going to stay where my mother lived. I wasn't going to move there. I wasn't going to move my kids there. Nor did I want the managing of it or renting it, because it's not in a nice neighborhood now. So yeah, letting go. I keep talking about it, but guys, I am literally working on it. Life has just been lifing, and this isn't a perfect season, and it's okay. And I'm so glad you are here. My next video is coming up on 10 things that I no longer want to do at 49 years old, so I cannot wait to share that. I will have footage in here of the 2 weeks of our Mounjaro shot. I'm still on 5 milligrams. I told you I actually lose more on 2.5, so that may be also where I do cut the cost, see what it does at 2.5, but I will probably be going back to compound because I'm not willing to pay $260 a month. Yeah. All right. So thank you guys. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.